Hey guys, I'm Bryn.
I'm Heather.
We are Pharmacists Out of the Box, and we have a special guest today.
So awesome. Yes.
Delicious and yummy, Kimmi Stultz from Juicery Rx. We found out about her from actually a student at UF's Career Days. We were there, I don't know, a couple months back, sometime in the fall, and this girl was like, "You've got to reach out to Juicery Rx." So
Yeah.
we were very
We've been
intrigued.
waiting for this day.
I know, her website's gorgeous.
I must have made an impact on this student, so they're excited.
Yeah. How many locations do you have now?
So we have 2 locations. We just opened up the second location in Weston, Florida. Our first location is in Parkland, Coral Springs, Florida.
Awesome.
So it's an actual place they can go and visit, like a physical place?
Brick and mortar. You can walk in and there's a live person right there to help greet, and yeah.
That's awesome. So go start us at the beginning. So what is Juice RX or?
Yeah, so Juicery Rx, we're an apothecary-inspired juicery and eatery. So we really focused on juices, cold press organic juices, and smoothies, and like a few bites when we first opened up about 3 years ago. And now I just recently brought on executive chef. And so now we are just expanding our food menu and food options. And the way we go about it is really, really unique. I don't cook. When I told my mom that I was opening up a juicery cafe, she was like, "You don't even know how to make rice." And that's a part of your culture. So you have to open up a restaurant. Interesting. And you're a pharmacist. Okay. So definitely maybe quarter life crisis, midlife crisis, not sure. And opened up. I actually had hired a food scientist to work on the menu development because I didn't have time. I was working at the time and took the money left. So I had to figure it out on my own. So that's what I love about our profession. You figure it out. Our true problem solvers. Right. So created the menu, and I'm not a chef, and so when I created the menu, it was everyone creates a dish based on the taste profile, and to make sure that it's palatable and it tastes amazing. For me, I went about it a different way. I actually looked at the ingredients that I really wanted to focus on that had healing potential. So geeking out, so I looked at things like turmeric and what it does. It's anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-tumor. Purple cabbage, love the sulfur compounds, helps with liver detoxification. Watercress, tons of clinical research showing how it actually can dampen and turn off oncogenic genes. So I started nitpicking and choosing these ingredients with its health benefits. And then I'm like, okay, so I have a bunch of random ingredients. How do I make this taste good now?
Right.
Now that takes us to 3 years later where I don't have to create the dish anymore. I come up with a list of ingredients and health benefits and throw it at my chef. And I'm like, make something. And he creates something and I work with him. I'm like, actually take this out, take that out, add this. So every week we have, we compound, right? In the kitchen and create dishes based off of health benefits. So everything is created with purpose, intention. So it's very exciting.
And so you were saying that it's not just juiceries. It's not just juice now. It's
juices, smoothies, food, everything. And we're hoping to really grow the food options just because of my history with having an autoimmune condition and not knowing where to go eat and get healthy options, like true healthy options, not you think it's healthy, but really the restaurant added all kinds of hidden ingredients in it to make it taste good. So we're truly transparent, and we wanted to create a place where people, could come and get really healthy options that was good for them.
Wow.
That's incredible. So it all started with your own health journey?
Yes. Yeah, I truly believe everyone has a food journey. We all do, especially if you're going through some sort of health issue or you want to get healthier. We all have a story, and we sort of just want to be a part of it, and we want to be a part of a place where customers can trust what they're getting.
Mhm. So you said it started 3 years ago, roughly? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, we opened up 3 years ago.
So
And
how did that happen? Or walk us through like that happening? Because we've both made
yeah.
shifts recently in our lives, big shifts, and I'm sure that was like a big thing. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I was working at Life Extension Foundation at the time, which is a huge vitamin supplement company. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. Most people haven't in the US. They're much more of an international company, but they're located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I was working for them, and I was reading Bon Appetit. Kind of crazy, right? Here I am reading a cooking magazine article, and it was a feature on Tulane Medical School, the teaching kitchen. And I was like, wow, like this is amazing. Here's a medical school that has built out an industrial kitchen for their med students to learn how to cook. So this whole teaching kitchen, food as medicine concept, this was 5, 6 years ago. It was a very new concept. So I was reading this article and I got so inspired. And I was thinking to myself, like, I want to go check this out. And I truly believe you put the intentions out there in the universe and somehow it happened.
Yes.
Right. So I went to an expo conference, and next thing you know, I met someone that sits on the board of Tulane Medical School.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, hi, we're going to be friends. This is what I would like. And can I get an invitation? So fast forward a year, he gave me a call and gave me a ticket to attend a conference to meet the director at Tulane Medical School for the teaching kitchen.
Wow.
I went through the program and I loved it. It was great. But as pharmacists, we are all about mechanism of actions. We're all about sort of, the science about why and how. And as wonderful as the class was at Tulane Medical School, it was almost more of a dietitian approach to nutrition. And I was like, well, you know what? It would be really neat as pharmacists. We're always trying to figure out like, okay, like how does carrots really truly help you? Like, what's the mechanism there? And that was missing from the class. So I sort of came up with like this crazy idea, like, oh, I would love to create something where there's a lot of education behind it and really create purposeful food, not based on dietetics, but functional medicine, a functional nutrition approach. So that's so I kind of tabled that dream and then found out that I was sick. I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and then the whole thing happened where I'm like, I got to do this. So I quit my job, cashed in 401k, just decided to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a family
no
too,
idea what I
right?
was doing. No.
Yeah.
And everyone thought I was crazy. So everyone tells you should have a business plan, and you probably should. I could probably be in a better place if I had a business plan, but don't let it stop you from what you want to do.
Yeah, no. And that's why people, I think, draw a lot to our podcast, because it's like they want to make a change, but they want to know what could they do. Or I think our success stories really kind of encourage people to like, don't be afraid. Do it. You can do it. The universe can help you.
Yes, I know.
It's like pharmacists want to have answers to everything and what it's going to look like. But a lot of this new stuff, like there's not answers. You're creating the answers. You're figuring it out.
And so you took a chance. So I think this is important if we can just dive in just a little bit deeper, because you said you cashed in a 401k. I think I know I did when I made my shift, we had to change things in our lives. I went to my husband and I was like, guess what? I want to quit my job and I want to do something different. And so we worked together, and we of course made changes, got rid of some toys, whatever, made personal financial changes to make it more doable. So what you did, it sounds like, is you cashed in money, like retirement money, basically.
Yeah.
You have to pay, just so people know, you have to pay.
I'll be working for the rest of my life. Perfect.
Yeah. But there is a penalty for doing that, right? There's like a 10% cut or something.
I think it was actually even higher.
Okay.
It was something crazy, and I was like, no, it's okay.
I still get the 90% or whatever. So that's what you decided to do to kind of fund yourself. That's amazing. That's great. That's
So
courageous. No, it's
It is
courage. It's
very.
awesome. And did you have a family at the time?
I didn't. That's probably why I was so ballsy on doing that. I mean, I have a family now. I have a daughter.
Mhm.
I hope that. Um, but it's. I just think that if you really, really, truly want to do something and make a change, you just have to. And
Mhm.
I read somewhere recently that if you are driving to work and if you are sitting in the car miserable, like consecutively, like you got to change. You
Mhm.
can't be miserable every single day. And work makes such a big portion of our life. So we need to be happy as
That's
well.
so funny you say that because for me, a time came where I was driving to work in the morning and I was in tears. And my husband had called me because we kind of went to work at the same time anyway. For some reason, he had called me and I was just crying. I did not want to go to work. Everything in my body was screaming that I didn't need to be going to that workplace anymore. And so, but I couldn't tell you why. I mean, why or what in the world I was going to do.
Logically, it doesn't make
It doesn't make sense. But no, that's funny you say that. That's exactly my experience is like, okay, I've just got to change. Like God, everything was screaming at me that I couldn't deny it anymore. Like I had to make a change.
I tell my students, I truly believe that we are all born with a gift to give back, and it is the journey to figure out what it is,
Yeah,
so you can leave the world a better place than you left it. So I
absolutely.
tell that to the students all the time. So
Yeah.
try to inspire them.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. So it seems like you've been involved in a lot of holistic type healing even before this journey. Did I see you were involved in like essential oils after pharmacy
Yeah.
school?
Yeah, so after pharmacy school, definitely took a very unconventional route. I tried hospital pharmacy. That was very traumatic for me. Working at the VA system, love the VA system, nothing wrong with it at all. It was just for me, it wasn't a right fit for me. And then after that, I tried retail pharmacy. That lasted for maybe 4 months. And then I called like the district manager. I'm like, this isn't going to work. Like, it's just not going to work. So then I got really lucky, and probably because I have quite a big mouth. And I was like, and I knew some physicians that were hiring. And so I'm like, you're going to hire me. This is what I'm going to do for you. This is what I can provide for you. Give me 2 months, 3 months to prove my worth to you and that I can increase revenue. So I did that for a couple of years. And then I worked for a plastic surgeon. So a lot of patients were coming in with indispensable income that just wanted to feel good, look beautiful, and get better. So I was very lucky enough to be able to play around with that. And the underlying theme with all the patients was wellness. And so I got different certifications in essential oils and, got involved with like homeopathy. And then I discovered life extension and they brought me on as a consultant. So then I got into, nutrition. So it sort of just went from there. And I'm a voracious learner. I love it. I love going to conferences. I'm like, oh, another certification done. I'll get it. Sounds great.
That's awesome though. No, and I think that's good because a lot of our audience too has kind of asked that question, like, is it worth going and getting, extra certifications? Is that what I need to do? So it sounds to me like it was helpful.
Not only is it helpful to get those certification, it makes you unique, right? And being a pharmacist and having this diverse background, because you've got one foot into this allopathic world where you understand medication, because let's face it, 80% of Americans are on a medication.
Right.
So the fact that our knowledge as pharmacists to understand that side, but then to also understand the other side of like natural medicine and to bridge the two is really important. And we're not doing that enough. It's this war with like, oh, allopathic training only or natural medicine only. So I will say the most successful I've been at is being able to bridge the two, and patients need it. There's a time and place for medication. If someone is diabetic, if someone is really truly suffering, we have to be very careful to not tell them like, oh, like, let me just take you off your medication, which we all know is not okay. But you support them, you support their biochemistry, you support them to be able to maybe reduce the medication, say whatever it is, but it's about bringing forth both together. And that's where I've seen a lot of success. So I try to promote that. And I think the other side where a lot of these natural practitioners need to see that we can live in a world with both, if need be.
Absolutely.
Prevention is key, but if they're already far into their chronic disease, you can support them. And that's what I love about what I do, because we have customers that come in that are diagnosed with, cancer. They're diabetics, they're hypertensive, and they've actually been able to reduce their medication because they've changed their lifestyle.
So I have a twofold question. Because my second question, I'll prelude with that, what it's going to be is a success story. I was going to ask you, like, do you have any good success stories you can tell us? But my first question, because you're kind of talking about the functional medicine piece too, in your certifications, did you get, I know it's AFS that has the functional medicine certification, or
to IFM, Institute of Functional Medicine.
Did you go and get that one? Because we've talked to somebody else earlier on a different podcast.
Yeah, so there's that. You can, there's A4M does a lot of really neat things as well too. So those two organizations are really, really huge.
Mm-hmm. Did you get a functional medicine one or no?
So I got my nutrition. So
okay.
The functional medicine, I just do the modules.
Gotcha.
Yeah, go to the conferences. And that's actually how I got my life extension job. And that's what I wanted to bring up. So besides getting a certification, networking. I don't think as pharmacists we do enough of it. Outside our fields of pharmacy, I think we sometimes like act like we're in the silo population and we can only talk to other pharmacists. No, like, go to medical conferences, go to functional medicine conferences, and show the other stakeholders what you are capable of doing, because they don't know. They still think that you're working in a retail setting, counting 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So
yeah, step out of the box.
Yes, be out of the box.
So we just have to showcase what we can do.
Exactly. And we can do so much more. I think pharmacists need to realize there's so much more they can do. That's what this is always about for us. We do. As long as we keep telling ourselves this is all we can do, we can't see, like, there's so many wonderful things that people are doing. So the second question, do you have success stories? Like, what is one of your good success stories?
Probably my favorite is, we had a mom come to our store that was struggling to get pregnant. And so we sort of made recommendations on what she could eat to be healthier. But I also sent her to a really good friend that's an acupuncturist. And she was pregnant 3 or 4 months later. So so we call them, we say that her baby is like the Juicery Rx baby. And so when she sends me images of like her son, who's, now like 3, when we first, like around 3, he's like drinking a Juicery Rx smoothie, and she's like, "Oh, here's your Juicery Rx baby." Yeah, so that's one of my favorites. The other one is, we have so many, because we work a lot with herbal extracts. So people who are coming in that aren't feeling well, so they'll come back to us and they'll say like, "Wow, like, I actually am the only one in the house that's not sick," or we've had customers, right? They're customers, they're not patients right now, but customers actually drive an hour away to get our bone broth, because it's actually helped them with digestive issues. I had someone recently that I saw on day 1, and I hadn't seen him because I haven't been back into the store because I'm doing so many different things, but he like wanted to thank me for helping him with his liver enzymes, like the doc, because we have these herbs that actually help support the liver, and his were always elevated. So these herbs that we were giving him was helping to reduce his liver enzyme count.
Wow.
Yeah. So just really neat things like that.
So that's interesting. So I thought it was mostly just like fruits and vegetables, but you actually have like bone broth that you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So our reboot program is I'm very proud of our reboot program. We've had people that have given up coffee. We've had, I had a young girl, actually, this is probably my second favorite story. I had a young girl that was extremely morbidly, not morbidly, she was obese, but it was taking a toll on her psyche and her mental health. And she was sort of a recluse because of it. And she didn't want to go work out because she thought people were looking at her and judging her. So her mom actually came to me and was like, can you please help her? And at this time I was in the store. So, I was like, well, let's try the reboot program on her. It was appropriate. And so she just felt so much better after 5 days of doing it. But more importantly, because she started feeling better, she changed her lifestyle. So it was all her. We were sort of just the catalyst to show her that she could do it. So now when I show before and after pictures of her, people are like, that is not the same person. There's no way.
Wow.
She's come to her shell. Her mom is so thankful for us, and just she's like, I feel like I have my daughter again. So
wow. So what is the reboot program?
So the reboot program, so most juice places, they have juice cleanses, which, by the way, I do not believe in. After 24 hours, you actually start breaking down lean muscle tissue, which, by the way, lean muscle tissue is what helps you burn fat 24 hours a day. So you don't want to lose lean muscle tissue. It's about working smarter, not harder. And so all these places that are doing like just juice cleanses, that is what contributes to yo-yo dieting. So what our program actually incorporates is the juices, the herbal extracts, which is geared towards supporting liver, kidney, lymphatic detoxification. We have antioxidant shakes that have prebiotics, probiotics, omega-3s, all your vitamins, minerals, nutrients. And we have bone broth that is a part of it as well. So it's very comprehensive. So if you were to ever talk to any of our customers, they're not hungry. You should not be hungry, so it's just giving your body a rest for 3 to 5 days. So that you can bring down the inflammatory process, and the bone broth, because of the collagen content, heals the intestinal lining, so that helps dampen some of that inflammatory response that's happening from the immune system. So it's very comprehensive and targets the whole body.
Wow.
Wow. That's really cool.
It is.
Yeah. So we're very proud of it.
How many days a week are you guys open, or like what are the hours?
We're open every day from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
Nice. And what do your roles look like? I'm sure they've changed a million times.
They have. They're always changing. I'm probably going to change it when I get off the phone with you guys. So for now, it is really just research development, creating new product lines. And we just recently brought on a PR firm. So now it's helping to get the messaging out there through branding. Yeah, like yesterday we had an opportunity to do a cooking demo on this TV program. So that was a lot of fun.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, oh, look at that, a pharmacist on a cooking show.
Well, speaking of that, are you still a practicing pharmacist? Do you still maintain your license and all that, or?
I still maintain my license because I'm also an assistant professor at Nova. That's how the student found me. So yes. But if you ask me a medication question, I would have to look that up. Yeah. It's been quite some time. Ask me a nutrition question. Yes, all day long.
So that's great. A lot of the Nova students are going to get a nutrition impact into their training.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out an elective. So what I did a couple of weeks ago is we brought in a small group of 10 students into Juicery Rx, into the kitchen. And it was me, my chef, and my nutritionist that I have on board. And we went over 2 patient cases. One was diabetic and the other one had thyroid issues. So they still have to understand pathophysiology and the disease state. But what we did is then I asked them questions and I made them look through a different set of lenses instead of like their medications. I'm like, okay, so what can we do for them nutritionally? So that was a really cool experience. And then they had to create a recipe for the patient that incorporated, so for instance, like the patient had thyroid issues, and I told them, you know, like a little understanding. I was like, okay, well, there's T4. T4 has to be converted to T3 to be metabolically active. I was like, did you know that requires nutrients like selenium and zinc? So they needed to know what foods were rich in selenium and zinc, you know, and build a meal based around that. And then whoever the winner was, we cooked their dish.
Oh, that is so cool. That is awesome.
So it makes them understand how important pathophysiology is, because sometimes, you know, it's not the most exciting to learn that, but they need to understand the basic foundations of the disease state. And then to take it to another layer of that is to know the nutrients that are involved in that metabolic process, and then to create a dish based off of those nutrients. So if you need selenium, zinc, your vitamin D levels need to be optimized for thyroid function, you know, what does that meal look like to get in those nutrients, to upload them?
Now, are your other Juicery Rx's like owned by pharmacists, or do you have to have a nutrition knowledge, or like this just seems like a unique person to be able to relate on that level?
So right now we're just 2 stores, so it's just sort of me overseeing that education aspect of it, but it would be a dream. Like if we were to franchise, if we were to grow, I would love it. And I've actually had a few pharmacists reach out to me, but I would love a bunch of pharmacists own Juicery Rx's, you know, and maybe in the future, even doing something crazy like a Juicery Rx and a compounding site, you know, intertwined together, like to make a wellness center. I mean, anything's possible.
That is really so cool.
So do you do meal plans at all, or basically just the recipes? Like if somebody has thyroid issues, how often do they need that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we don't have a meal plan yet. People have talked about that. That's definitely something we're looking into right now. You know, we have our set menu. We can tweak it things, you know, here and there, but we have our menu. But the menu, how it's created, it really helps target a lot of different disease states anyways. Sure. So because we're dairy free, we're gluten free. I'm pushing the chef to make sure that we're 100% soy free. We have some items that have soy in it. It's so hard to avoid. But that is the next goal, is that we're soy free as well.
So are you meat free or animal product free then, or no?
We're not, because we have the bone broth.
Yeah.
It's just such a powerhouse of superfood. Yeah,
absolutely.
Do you ever add more into your bone broth, like nutritional yeast, certain salts or protein?
So we have the bone broth, which has the apple cider vinegar in it. But adding additional things is easy. If someone wants turmeric in it or ginger in it, we can easily add it in. But we just created something for vegetarians. We call it our umami, and it's the plant collagen form.
Okay.
And that has wakame, which has some plant collagen in it, but we also have turmeric in there. We have a lot of so it's a really cool drink. Shiitake mushrooms, which is great for the immune system. Yeah. Awesome. So that's our plant version.
Yeah.
Do you have any like autism or ADHD type patients or clients that come in?
Some autism, just because they're very cautious about what they can, eat. So we do get a lot of parents that bring their kids in with autism. As for ADHD, not so much ADHD. What we primarily see, and maybe it's because of my story, is definitely a lot of autoimmune, a lot of celiac, and cancer.
Okay. And then how do you go about sourcing your food? Are you looking at like local farmer markets, like organic, maintain that?
Organic is really, really difficult, and they charge so much more. So sometimes it's also the education, like letting our customers know, like, it's more expensive because we're sourcing from the best. But there's also another layer of organic. Like there's good quality organic, and there's less, not so much. So our executive chef works with like the president and the CEOs of different food companies to ensure that we're getting the best of the best produce. So if you were to ever drink, one of our juices compared to like another company's, like people will be like, did you add something to yours? Like it just tastes so fresh. And it's because our executive chef has been in the business for over 30 years. So he brought in the relationship that he's had with these different companies. So we sort of get first pick to the produce we want.
Wow. That's amazing.
And then how do you lay out like a typical day? I know that's got to be impossible with your job, but I'm just thinking you've got a daughter, you've got a partner, like how in the world are you able to like, I don't know, have sanity?
I don't have sanity.
Okay. Perfect.
I don't have sanity. I have a lot of guilt. I feel guilty all the time. Like, oh, I should be spending time with my daughter. I have like, I'm sure I have a meltdown like once a week, which is, yeah. I guess just trying to prioritize what's important and to be forgiving to myself that if it doesn't get done at the end of the day, I have tomorrow. I think just having that mindset more than anything else. I wish I was more organized and more structured. But I'm such a dreamer. And so I do the best that I can.
Yeah. Does your daughter ever get to come with you to work or see what you do?
So she is turning 1. So yeah. I'm hoping maybe when she's older, I'll be putting her to work. But for now, no, she doesn't get to come to work yet, but I hope so in the future. It'd be great.
Yeah. So that is incredible. You're growing this business with like a 1-year-old. Like that is just amazing.
I have lots of help. Lots of help. Okay. But there's no way I would be able to do it if I didn't have help.
Right. Yes. Such a big difference. And then what do you get time to fit in self-care? Or it sounds like your job kind of feeds your soul, like just how passionate you are about like your success stories and what you get to do.
Yeah. Self-care is really important. I'm a huge advocate of that. I have a lot of friends around me that run themselves ragged, and it doesn't help anyone if you can't, if you're not feeling better. So I take time to like definitely on like Sunday is my day. Like I will probably open up emails here and there, but Sunday is my day to like spend it with the family, spend it with my daughter. And you just have to put in the time. Like if you block that time off, you block the time off for meetings and important things, so you can block time off for yourself. So you just have to put yourself a priority. When I worked for the cosmetic surgeon, I worked with so many CEOs that were in, that were near the end of their career and they're extremely successful, but they were doing everything that they can to fix their health crisis, so seeing that probably makes me, more adamant about taking care of myself, because I don't want it to get to later in life where I can't even enjoy the successes that I've created because I'm in and out of the hospital. And so.
Right. That sounds good.
And then I just randomly thought of this with like food kind of being used as your medicine or supplement into your medical regime. Are you seeing like mental health shifts or mental health changes with yourself or your customers?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, information is so important. So there's so much research coming out about nutrigenomics, which I love, because it's showing how food can actually turn on these favorable genes and dampen unfavorable genes. So that's really powerful. So there's a lot of research coming out there. And for mental health, yes, I think with all of these additives that is in food these days has a huge impact on our children's health, and they don't even know what real food looks like anymore, and I think it's important for us to really show them, model ourselves so they can eat healthier, make better choices. And it's not, the 80-20 rule. The other day I ate a Kit Kat bar and someone was like, oh, you eat Kit Kat bars? Every so once in a while, yeah.
I love Kit Kat bars.
You know, but I've seen a huge, just even some of our staff, we have high school kids and they're so stressed out and they're worried about getting into college. And a lot, like what I promote to my team is you have to take care of yourself. So, and they say all the time, they're like, you know what, like I eat so much healthier now that I work here and I can able to handle the stress a lot better.
That's awesome.
So if we have, so I have a twofold question again. So for somebody who just listens to this and we don't have Juice RX near wherever they are, but they're like, wow, this is just a layperson. I'm really interested in learning what can I eat to help my thyroid issue or my gout, which is inflammatory or whatever.
Yeah.
Where would you suggest, one, the general public, is there a good magazine? Is there some website or email thing they can get on? Where can just an everyday kind of person find more information about what could help them in their health conditions, if it's a magazine, whatever? And the second part question I'll just give you because it's easy. And then a pharmacist, like who is maybe interested in what you're doing, where would you lead them as a next step? So that's my kind of two-part question.
So for customers, patients out there that want to find sources of how to be healthier, there's so many incredible thought leaders out there, from Dr. Axe, Mark Hyman. For Hashimoto's, there's Isabella Wentz, who's a pharmacist. And the cool thing about it is you can go to ifm.org and pull up different panel speakers, get their names, and they oftentimes all congregate in the same circle. So you read an article from one of them, they'll usually quote another. So it's a little, kind of, that's the best way, is to go to their blogs, go to their website, get their books, read more about them. And they offer a lot of really great information. Like Dr. Myers, if you have thyroid issues, she's like the expert in that. I could probably list a list of thought leaders out there it's all free information. Free information. So that would be for patients, for customers. And as for pharmacists that are interested in obtaining more information, go to ifm.org, attend the different conferences. There's A4M here locally in Boca, but they do a lot of international conferences. That's a great way as well too. If you want to get into herbal medicine, there is the American Botanical Council. You can Google that. So if you're interested in herbs, like I studied under a master herbalist for 2 years. So it's just a little bit of digging the information, but everything is available online.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is so interesting.
I know. Any specific goals or future plans for 2020 for you?
Get more sleep. That's a really big goal. And just, we're still a young company, and, everyone sees us as having 2 stores, like, wow, like you've got it together. And, I don't. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out and still learning from mistakes, and trying to surround myself around people that are supportive and just sort of believe in my dreams and help me. And I have some really great people around me to talk me off of a ledge on a daily basis. So I think that's really important. But it's okay. It's okay if you don't have it all figured out. It's okay to make mistakes, and we learn from them, and we're better from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just do it. You just have to just make that first move.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. Thank you. That is our
so
big
encouraging.
Message. Yes.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We know you're so busy and you're sleep deprived. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me on.
Yes.
And then we'll link the Juicery Rx down there. Is that the best way for people to reach out to you?
Yeah, they can reach out to us on our social media platforms. I am pretty good about checking it. So if not, I have people that do. And if it's like a personal message, they can reach out to me.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
All right, guys. We're Pharmacists Out of the Box. So thank you for joining us. I'm Bryn.
I'm Heather. See you next time.
Bye, guys.